Hey there, it's Quinn with PTSD While Black, just doing a full moon check in with all of the woo woo that can be associated with my experience. um, this feels so weird to even talk about it because normally I keep like my spirituality really like close to my chest. I'm not really like somebody runs out and screams it. I used to when I was obnoxiously um accepting that I'm pagan, not Wiccan, because that's more like religion to me, but pagan just being earth-based spirituality and having a connection with the divine, whatever that may be. Um so and what's very interesting is with my connection to this, I've always linked it to some form of science, some form of psychology. Like tarot cards, the individual cards break down uh different aspects of the human psyche, and that's how I've understood tarot. Um, Meditation is really just connecting back in with ourselves, stopping to listen to ourselves and to connect into our intuition. And I'm learning that our intuition is just like any other limb, like having a right arm. It's kind of the same thing. It's there. Just how weak or strong is it? And how often do I pay attention to it? And am I building that muscle? Anyway, I'm making this video and it's gonna seem so weird because this is the side of the gang stalking, which is crazy. It's into the absurd areas. I would have never thought that this was a thing, but I've been picking up the energy pretty consistently um, since the gang stalking began. The gentleman who initiated stalking me. We're gonna call him Chaz Corn. When we first started talking, I told him, that I'm a certified hypnotherapist, but not practicing anymore. And so that opened up the conversation for weird stuff. And he was telling me that he was into witchcraft and that he had felt that there was some sort of bad entity that was attached to him. And I said, you know what? I will light a candle and pray for you. And that was like how I opened myself up to being a target for this particular individual is that empathy that I would have. I said, I'll light a candle. He said, thank you. That's really sweet of you to do that. Um, that's again having the person's permission to do so. But that opened up the path for me to be attacked. It's like, oh, this person's willing to be kind without really knowing me yet. I'm gonna do what I want to. And then with Ashley from Globe Life Insurance, she I knew something was weird with her energy because she was like made a point of always saying, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Yeah, but I'm a Christian." But she would send me these horror scenes for voice acting and also uh talking about scenes about witches casting spells. And so it's kind of like using the words I'm a Christian to hide what you actually do. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I can feel their energy when they're attacking me. They feel very different. His energy feels like, please pity me. I want to control you. I will dominate you. You're a possession kind of a feeling. Um, and I could have swore like when things really were at the worst of not just the cyber attacks and not just the computer, they're doing everything. um, but I felt like, even his lust, I could feel his lust energy, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this? Go the fuck away." Um, it's, like, weird, I could feel that, and now his energy feels more like control, like, a I must control the situation, I must control this outcome. Her energy feels very erratic. It feels agitated, um, uncertain, and a bit fearful is the best way to describe her energy. And then the third person who was involved, who is the person that I said she was copying a lot of my, scenes, my work as a voice actress, and it's not like on a mule, it's a hobby. kind of thing, but she was copying everything that I did, and I was like, That's appropriation when you're copying all of the work from a Black person." In my case, I opened scenes and sang songs about whatever I was feeling in the moment, so it felt like, ugh, part of my soul was being just borrowed. Um, for that person, I could tell that her energy was much more contained, directed, controlled. And I'm sorry I haven't pinpointed which one is doing it. I'm not sure if it's Chaz Corn or Classidra, because that's her username. I'm just gonna use usernames or made up names for people. Um, but someone in this group had the ability of blocking intuition. They may have been somebody else that they've gotten. Blocking one's intuition or uh masking intuition, giving you like a false reading or a false checking in with oneself. I had noticed it when I was doing tarot readings for myself a few months ago, that it's like the yes no seemed very weird. Um, it was so strange. It was so strange. Even with blocking intuition with my pendulum. So I've known that I've gotten to this point of like asking who's behind this and where is it from, to still check in with myself again to get clarity, and then asking the divine again to get clarity. So I'm checking these things a couple more times, more than I would ever do. And so it was really interesting just to see this energy. What I've noticed from these gang stalkers, one of their motives is to create not just chaos, but a sense of um, depression, powerlessness, and fear. And as I said in an earlier video, I think that one of their motives was to get a kickback on either uh, making people of color or other people, period, out to be criminals or insane, or getting some kind of kickback from turning people in, or maybe insurance policies on getting people to kill themselves. 'Cause there was multiple times, and that, by the way, always came up around the full moon or the new moon. They're pretty consistent with the attacks. I'm like, "Oh, okay, now I see what you're doing." Um, but, of creating a sense of suicidal ideation, powerlessness, hopelessness, um, and I know nobody has time to watch all the videos that I've ever made, but, at one point in my spiritual journey, I was actually making peace with the inner teenager that had chosen suicide attempts. And so I've already worked on that energy within me. I'm not someone who is going to commit suicide. Um, I have worked on that energy. I have made peace with that energy in therapy, made conversations with that energy, to be able to say, I see you. So it's rather interesting that this is kind of like a repeat attempt that kept coming back, and I'm like, "Okay." So what makes me really sad is not only do they do these things with hacking your phone, hacking your computer, sending forced messages on YouTube or, TikTok or what have you, they're also using spiritual attacks, and to a certain degree, I'm like, "That's fascinating," and another degree, I'm like, "You're a sick asshole. Stop." Um, but just to be aware of it. So, if you've gotten involved with some individuals who are doing dark practices, some things that may be helpful is to know yourself. Know who you are, what is important to you. That it helps to journal, it helps to name feelings, write out a feelings list, to know what is you and what is not you. Um, with a blocking of intuition, it's a need to unbind the blockages as if you were untying something. Let those blockages of intuition go, or connecting more in with the divine, I guess is what I would say. Um, let me see here. I made a note. I don't know, I can't read my own handwriting, but there's, like, this numbness feeling that may be created or a lack of, a lack of creativity, a lack of inspiration. For me, creativity was just like the spark and of like, "Oh, I got the ideas and I'm going to create this or I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do things differently." That's some of the things that these people would do is to block, creative inspiration, which is really sad. I'm like, if you guys have all of these abilities, why not spend that time building yourselves up? But I guess it's just a quick hit, to try to tear other people down or to feel powerful. I don't know. Um, but it's what fills you with life, what inspires you, what reminds you the most of who you are. Because these folks don't know you. Um, so you know you. That's the main thing in defeating all this is to know yourself. To thine own self be true. Um, and always asking, where is this from? Asking yourself, where is this from? Asking if you're religious, asking the divine, God, your higher power, the highest love, universal consciousness, what have you, whatever term works for you, but asking, where is this from? And is this part of my connection with you or is it from elsewhere? And to be still to listen to that. That's just been my experience. I hadn't really spoken about it because I was like, this feels very woo woo. But this full moon, I was having some of the week of the full moon was having some of the same stuff, and I'm like, God. And so I thought maybe I would put something out there and just let folks know. Um, yeah, yeah, just to be aware of whatever. Oh, and the other thing that they will try to do energetically is to create conflict in your relationships. So again, for the people who love you and the people who know you, let them know that, hey, there's something weird that's going on and I can't quite explain it. But know that I love you and that I want to work things with you and to talk with you. Have those kinds of conversations with the people that you love and who love you. It makes a big difference. And again, it's knowing who you are and knowing who your people are. And to not be quick with judgments because God knows I'm quick to cuss somebody out, but I'm also quick to back up and go, hold on, I was just so incorrect in how I came forward. Um, so yeah, those are some of the weird woo-woo things. Um, but I guess because I'm a hypnotherapist, I've kind of gotten used to that because the minds can do amazing things. Our minds have so much capacity, and we really don't know how much of the brain that we're really using, that there's so many other ways that it can operate. So, I I'm the kind of person it's like more agnostic in the approach. I don't know, but I'm willing to find out kind of approach. That's mine. Um, yeah, yeah, that's the weird part. Some MK Ultra, what is it? Stranger Things stuff going on. It's the dream hacking. Oh, dream hacking is also another thing that happens. It's just annoying. It feels like being observed by somebody else in your dreams. Um, yeah, yeah, it's just stupid. Um, whew. All right. Have you had any experience with this? Feel free to leave comments. Yeah, and do check in with yourself. That's the biggest thing. Check in with yourself and know yourself and be true to yourself. All right, till next time. Peace.